Indeed, this is Question Time. My name is Mpotse. We're coming to you live from Gallagher Estate. This is where it's all happening, the Congress of South African Trade Unions, the biggest federation here in South Africa, a labor movement of great history, an alliance partner of the governing African National Congress is gathering here. This is their 12th National Conference. And like I said, we're coming to you live from the venue. And my guest today is the outgoing president of Cosatu, Dumo Dlamini. Dlamini, welcome to Question Time.
Thank you very much, Paul. Thanks for having us on this very important program.
Yes. Now, what makes infighting one of the key issues at this Cosatu's current National Congress? And how has the expulsion of NUMSA impacted the federation movement's coffers, if it has in any way? And what does Cosatu regard as the main challenges facing workers today? And perhaps, indeed, what is Cosatu's position on union officials becoming sexually involved with subordinates? We're going to talk about that today. Comrade President, how would you describe the time that you've been leading this organization now that you have to hand over to the next president?
Yes, no, thank you very much. Indeed, as the outgoing leadership, because all of us are going out,
yep.
There shall be a new leadership in the next few days from now. We've been in a journey, and I've been in your program before, detailing how we were managing the difficult issues the organization has been facing. And at that time, I made a promise that the arbiter as to how much successful we have been in terms of managing these difficult questions our organization has been facing will be this 12th National Congress of Cosatu.
Yes.
It's been a tumultuous, difficult journey of Cosatu being pulled left and right, internally and outside, by many forces who were hell-bent on wanting to turn Cosatu into something that we have never known Cosatu to be. Our unions have been divided. Our unions have been weakened. Leadership has been at each other's throats at some points at the Central Executive Committee, causing other unions to boycott the Central Executive Committee. Indeed, taking major decisions in the history of the organization. We have come a long way. We went into provincial congresses, and by that time, workers or members on the ground had begun to send a clear message emanating from the past Special National Congress that they want a united, militant, campaigning Cosatu that is in the alliance with the African National Congress and the SABC.
Okay, now when it started, and I mean, I must congratulate you. You have been very open. You have allowed media to operate freely, and this is a first. It has never happened where, you know, we could capture the well, as you would call it, the robustness of discussions, you know, of the type that goes on within a Cosatu environment. But something that made the news, it can only be Cosatu that gets the president to sit and wait and eventually go and come back.
Yes, we opened to the media. Remember, last time we had to apologize to the media because we thought the debate was going to be for a short period, unfortunately stretched for over 10 hours. And you, the media, stood outside there in the cold waiting for you to be called in. This time around, we opened everything because basically we have nothing to hide. Cosatu should be known for what it is, and what you saw yesterday is what is the Cosatu that we have known for many years. Robust engagements, holding no punches when it is necessary. The unfortunate situation, which is part of the package, the President of the Republic, who is the President of the ANC, We had agreed with him to come at a particular time, and he arrived on time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we were still engaged in those debates internally,
Okay.
and felt that he needed to. He left and came back. We respect him for that.
Now, in your political report, you raised the issue of one federation, one union,
Yes.
and per sector, and all that. That's a dream. You are not going to get that, at least not now.
Look, it's our resolution. When Cosatu was formed, you remember amongst the pillars or principles of founding Cosatu is one federation, one country, one union, one industry.
Okay.
Indeed, today, Cosatu still remains the largest, but there are 23 other federations here in South Africa, which has indeed worked negative to our resolution. And we continue to warn those that still want to form other federations that is not uniting the workers in South Africa. That is not meaning the collective bargaining power of workers in South Africa, but it will further weaken us. So,
Okay.
yeah, but we pursue that dream.
But don't you think it would be better to firstly unite Cosatu itself? Because you are divided. I know you're going to deny it, but if what we saw happening is anything to go by, Cosatu is divided. There's FAU, which is pulling the other way. There are other unions that are singing some songs, which you had the benefit of listening to yesterday. That's not a united Cosatu.
Look, we did say, even at the last Special National Congress, this was not going to be a once-off event. Working for unity and cohesion in an organization takes time. But if you were inside there at the Congress, particularly just as the SACP General Secretary finished speaking,
Yes.
the group that hululated singing a very unifying song was a group of FAU and SACAU members.
Yes.
They stood up embracing the whole of Congress, emphasizing the unity of Cosatu. I almost shed a tear because it is that point where I said a few months ago that Congress will be the arbiter of our success in achieving this unity. SACAU and FAU did exactly that, saying to the whole of Congress, we are comrades, we may differ in views, but this is our Cosatu. We are here to build our Cosatu.
Is Cosatu failing to do away with Vavi's ghost? Everything you talk in this Congress to say Vavi's people, Vavi's supporters, Vavi's union,
I think it is the media that has that problem.
Okay.
It is the media because when you're supposed to be talking about Cosatu, you talk about the former General Secretary of Cosatu, you talk about a union that has been expelled from Cosatu, instead of asking us, what are we doing to build an organization? And we refuse really to be drawn into that discussion.
Okay.
What we are busy with, Paul, right now is to build a stronger, formidable, militant, fighting Cosatu, which will be campaigning on the ground for the issues affecting workers in this country, which is the program the past period has caused us to be dissuaded or moved away from it a little bit. But Cosatu is the home of all workers in South Africa.
Not footballers.
Including footballers in South Africa under SAFPU.
They were not attending
under
conference yesterday.
Today, the president of SAFPU is at Congress and is participating very well. So the message has gone out there because we said yesterday, come, still the first day, we have 3 more days to go. He's there, he's participating.
Okay. Now, you say in your speech there, that police cannot and should not die with guns in their hands. And I'm going to be talking later to Pop Crew
Yes.
briefly. What is Cosatu's position on this matter?
That is Cosatu's position. Why should we allow our police in the metro, in the subs, to be killed whilst their duty is to protect society? And they have the armory to do exactly that. They should be able to use professionally that instrument that they are trained to use in the manner that they are trained to use the instrument to defend themselves when criminals who do not shoot on the foot or the knee, they shoot in the head. So when the bullet is pointed or the gun is pointed at a policeman, he knows exactly that that bullet kills. And what does he do this time? Society expects police to run away at that time. Society expects police to fold their arms. We are saying as Cosatu, these are workers too. They have families, they have children, they've got to defend themselves. If we fail that one and allow police to be running away from criminals in this country, it is coming to us as society. We'll all be defenseless.
I want us to take a quick break, and then when we return, let's talk about, you referred to some of the Polokwane resolutions, which are quite interesting to read. I mean, a South African developmental state, whilst learning from the experiences of others, must be built on solid foundation of South African realities. Whilst engaging private capital, strategically, our government must be rooted amongst the people and buttressed by a mass-based democratic liberation movement. I want us to talk about this only after the break. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, I think we should be able to take your calls as well if you want to pose a question or two before we talk to Pop Crew. But this is Question Time, and we are coming to you live from Galaga Estate.
Oh, hi. Just brushing up on my party. We are going to make it number 12, official. Let me teach you a quick word.
Yeah.
Quite a star. A woman who has mastered the art of dancing in high heels. It's up and flip.
Get a bottle of Glenfiddich 12-year-old with 2 glasses for only $3.99.99 and help make party South Africa's 12th official language. Tops at Spa. Shake things up.
As Africans, we tell a common story. Together, we make up a common picture. For the 7th time since 1998, AfriCities Summit is uniting people from local governments across the continent and asking them to contribute in voice and action to shape a common vision of transformed African cities by 2063. Join us. Learn about the AfriCities 7 Summit, Johannesburg, South Africa, 29 November to 3 December 2015.
Welcome back. Indeed, this is Question Time you're watching, and my guest today is the outgoing president of Cosatu, Stumo Dlamini, and we're coming to you live from Galaga Estate. This is where Cosatu is having its elective conference. Now, President, I was saying that when you spoke about this developmental stage, so to say, however, saying to the ANC it needs to remain a mass-based democratic liberation movement. Let's talk about that a bit, because these are some of the discussions that mainly happen at Communist Party level.
Yes, remember, Cosatu is not divorced from the politics of our country. We are not a political party. but we deal on a day-to-day basis with the political issues of our life as workers, because that's what our life is. It is political. Then we have discussed at the last Congress in 2012, the 11th National Congress, adopting what we call a developmental agenda through what we are calling the Lula moment. And the danger with that is to then say South Africa must be like Brazil. And when you say that and you go back to Brazil 5-7 years later, you find that the situation in Brazil is reversed. It's
but that was Cosatu, Bovavi, and others. They were calling for the Lula moment.
Exactly, which is the point we're warning even at this Congress going forward. You do not reach resolutions that are fashioned around individualism. Should be decisions based on the organization. And we're saying the ANC, as a mass-based organization, has got to interact with the communities on the ground.
Okay, we've got a caller. Samuel, you're calling us from Limpopo. I hope the president will be able to hear you as well. Samuel?
Okay, Mijane.
Ifukile ngongwe.
Hayi bukelela ku khulumanyana tatana Dumugwalanga. Alla ku la ku sidumo zamini wa ikhome kahle kwalani nga khoma kona baba. Mara loko ri ka Congress yele mi nga ka yona loko karhi organize that meeting inga vulavuli mhaka va vavi na va numsa na va whatsoever. Hold on, because as tiva leswaku na set force lava ku teka tiko leri va ri tlherisela ndzhaku hi ku tirhisela vona vavhavi va tshikeli va famba ku tsandzeke va madishe va fambini hinkwavo ka vona mara ANC ya mahlweni ko xikan'we na Cosatu khomisa sweswo baba nkomo.
All right, you can still Tatana Samuel. Well, that's our call-up viewer, Tatana Samuel, saying there, well, Dumozamini, just hold on there. Don't talk about NUMSA and Vavi. Madisha failed and many others, so they are still going to talk, third force and all that. Well, I guess that's one of your...
And I fully agree with it. Let's not talk about other people. Let's talk about our Cosatu and how we're going to be improving the workers' lives.
Now, talking about this relationship that Cosatu has with the ANC, this is the same country where you're saying the pharmaceutical sector is a jungle that is ruled by foreign companies, Aspen, Adcot, Ingram, Sanofi, Pfizer, and Novartis, etc. They have all significant foreign ownership. This is allowed by the same ANC that you have, and therefore health service is not as affordable as it can be.
We are making that point in particular because what we're saying there stands directly in contrast with our NHI resolution, because we say for the NHI to be there, you have to make health accessible to the rank and file, even if they do not have the money to use. Now, if those who control, those who own the means of that production are even that side, how are we going to do that? Because they determine the price. Government does not determine the price. And medicine or hospitalization is very expensive in South Africa.
Let me take another call. Isaac, you're also calling us from Limpopo. Welcome to Matlamini's listening.
Mpo, how are you? Mpo, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Yes, yeah, yes. I just want to pose two questions to the president there. We all know very well that it is the NEC of the ANC that has resolved to implement e-toll, and the Sister Stumo was there. Isn't it hypocrisy that the Cosatu under his leadership is claiming to fight e-toll? And then another question, if the ANC was really in alliance with Cosatu, why do we still have labor brokers at the moment? Because 20 years, we are fighting labor brokers, but
You there. We have ran out of time because I still want to talk to Popru. Isaac. Okay.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
And I heard him very well.
Yes.
It is those questions we must deal with. By the way, the Federation fought so hard with the issue of the e-tolls, is still fighting hard with the issue of the labor brokers. It's a struggle that we must finally win. So we continue to fight.
Unfortunately, I have to let you go back to
Thank you very much.
Political discussions and commissions there. And we're going to take a quick break just to allow the First Deputy President, Nkosinathi Mabhida of POPCRU, to come and talk to us. Remember, this is question time, and we are here at Gallagher Estate Cosatu Conference. Okay, quickly, guys. And welcome back. This is Question Time. You're watching. Very quickly, we're now going to talk to the First Deputy President of POPCRU, Nkosinathi Mabhida. Mabhida, thank you very much for joining us. A quick one. I need to get something clear here. You have called for the Minister of Police to resign. On what basis?
No, as POPCRU are saying as an organization that the Minister of Police have been appointed as the Minister of Police for the whole year. But to us, it seems to be an absentee minister.
In what way?
In a way that police officers are dying. There is task in the higher hierarchy of SABC, and yet the minister is not doing anything about it.
But what was the police minister supposed to do when police officers are getting shot at work with firearms, which you have now come out to say they must use? Was Minister Nhleko supposed to do something there?
We think that it is a responsibility of the minister, together with the higher hierarchy of sub-management, to come up with a strategy that will seek to intervene when these police officers at lower ranks are dying almost on a daily basis.
Okay. Do you support the processes which have been going through the police sector? I mean, the Falum Commission came up with recommendations which are currently being implemented?
We are respecting that, and we are waiting for that inquiry that has to deal with the Falum Commission.
Okay.
But nevertheless, we are adamant as POPCRU that we think that SABC management as well as the minister need to do something when one of their own are dying almost on a daily basis. Hence, we have made a call in these two marches that we had this week, last week, that says police officers should not die with their firearms around their waist.
Should I tell you something? I thought those marches, you organized them because you realized that you were on the back foot. SAPU was really making inroads, more especially after you fumbled by not coming out in support of what was popularly accepted as a cause which the police were supposed to have been protected in. I'm talking about Klerksdorp.
No, that's your view. Okay. Our view is that those members that are arrested, they are our members, and we're to support them because we don't think it's logic for one criminal to be killed by police and the whole country is up in arms. Okay. Yet in this month alone, we have, in November alone, 16 police officers have been killed. Until we marched on Wednesday, that's when police killing stopped. Therefore, it means that our march had an impact, and indeed we are responding to criminals accordingly. Okay. If it was not because of poor marching last week, I don't know how many police officers would have lost their lives today.
Well, Peter, unfortunately, we ran out of time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But I think you must make a commitment to come to question time next week. Let's talk about this matter further.
Please, you are at, I'll be at your mess. I'll come.
Okay.
Definitely.
There it is. And we were coming to you live from Galaga Estate at the Cosatu Congress. Have yourself a wonderful time from me and the entire crew here and in studio. That was question time for today. Goodbye.